everyone, and welcome back to the Let's Get Ready Network. I'm Adelia. That's my buddy Snark. Different show this week than usual because I haven't seen hardly anything to do with this match week of games because of family being here for the holidays. Snark was going to do the show by himself, but I was like, let's not have him do that. Let's have him tell me what happened this match week.
Need somebody keep me on course, just in case. Just in case the worst of the swear words could happen. Now I'm gonna have to be, more responsible with my language, I suppose. For no reason, no reason at all.
Yeah, I know 2 of the results of the 10 matches. So
yep, a full week of matches here, just days after the last full week of matches, and we'll start. Let's start in Leicester, where I don't think City winning is a big surprise, especially since Michael Oliver was the official, but
of course
he was just there to make sure. Like this one was they didn't look great. City, let's just say their mistakes just didn't bite them in the ass this time. Gavardiol had a bad giveaway in the box that Jamie Vardy took, but he couldn't do anything with it. Jacob. I have trouble with his last name. The keeper for Leicester, Jacob Stolarczyk, something like that. I tried my best.
It either.
Yeah. He played well in that for the Foxes. He does give up a huge rebound, though, and a Phil Foden shot 20 minutes in that Savinho pounces on the score. Savi's first goal in the Premier League.
That's odd.
That's the way City's been going.
Yeah.
It took this long for Savinho to score. Second half, they got this Norwegian youngster named Erling Haaland on City.
Might have heard of him.
Yes, well, you haven't heard much of him lately, but supposedly he's now scored 14 goals in the Premier League because he scored in this one, get the insurance marker.
He got off to such a start this season of scoring goals that I can believe he scored 14 goals already.
It all comes down to the stay humble comment. Like everything turned. Everything turned, not just for him, but for City. Yeah, you don't do something that dumb. Not on the pitch. Not especially when Mike's in here. There was everything getting into like the ball thing on Gabriel, the back of Gabriel's head, or Saliba's head, or whatever. After he scored there too, after having the guy taken off for 70 minutes,
they were so obnoxious at the end of that game, but him especially. And you're right, that's when everything turned for City.
Yep. Well, things aren't going too well for Ruud van Nistelrooy right now either.
No, it doesn't seem like it.
It looked like he could be doing an okay job in there. What was that, a game in?
Yeah.
Now it's 4 games later, 4 losses, and they're sliding. So, maybe we might get that whole thing or whatever where you go up, you go down, because that's the way it's standing right now in the standings. So we're going to move on. This was not in the plan for the standings. This is Everton and Forest next. These are the clubs that usually we're like, okay, one of these clubs might make it. It'll be amazing if they both make it. We've said that for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
I think one of these teams is pretty safe now. I would imagine.
I would think so.
Probably both, to be fair. They're probably both safe. I wanted just to say quick that Armando Broja started for the Toffees in this match. So there you go, former Chelsea guy.
I had forgotten he was at Everton.
Yep, big pickup for the Toffees. Yeah, I can't
impact.
Anybody who ever complains about Chelsea's what they do in the market and stuff like that, just look at what we can sell. Like, yeah, where's that? Mason Mount is still going to be the creme de la creme of crap we got rid of. Anyways, I don't know why I find it so interesting when Forest wins on the road. Even now, I was like, oh, Forest won on the road. Chris Wood scores. He has 11 goals this year. He's basically Erling Haaland. Who would you rather have right now, Chris Wood or Erling Haaland?
Honestly, Chris Wood.
Well, I think that's ridiculous. He's still 33 years old or something like that.
I know, but like this season,
the
current form that they're in, I'd take Chris Wood.
He's been consistent, that's for sure. And also, of course, he only has a couple players to get him the ball, but they've been doing well. His is a nice little cheeky lob shot over Jordan Pickford. Jordan Pickford was all world in this game. He may have made 4, 5 outstanding saves in this match. It still doesn't do him any good because he can't go down to the other side and score too. When you're,
Yeah.
somebody has to do it. So second half, we'll go to some nice passing. A poor giveaway by Abdullah Doucouré near his own box. Elanga takes it. He passes it to Wood. He finds Morgan Gibbs White in the box. By this time, Doucouré thinks he's recovered. He runs back and just runs past. Morgan Gibbs White, who has a whole bunch of net. He's like, okay, you'll score. That's 61 minutes in. It's a 2-0 win for Forest on the road at good old Goodison Park. If Everton was,
have to be the biggest surprise of the season.
I don't think there's any question. I don't think there's any question. And to think of anyone except for Nuno to win Manager of the Year is bananas. You can't get the orange spot for caretaking somebody else's team. You can't.
Exactly. You can't.
Ridiculous. Yeah. If Everton stacked another net on top of the other net, they would have had a pretty good shot at this game because everything was going over. They have to, dial it in. The net is only so high.
Got to work on that.
Yeah, Chelsea had that problem for a couple of years. In the end, Forest moves up to second temporarily. There's some matches to play here, but Nottingham Forest, pretty crazy. Moving on. Let's go to Selhurst Park here, Adelia.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a team like Palace is taking on Southampton. And Southampton, these are the games they need to take points from. You can't drop points to Palace and expect to stay up in the English Premier League. And they got out to a good start. 15 minutes in, it's Kyle Walker-Peters forcing his way in. He was being defended pretty well, but he gets his pass over to Adam Armstrong, who finds Tyler Dibbling. Tyler Dibbling in the box or whatever, not too far away. He hammers it in. 15-minute lead for Southampton.
Every time you say Southampton players' names, I'm convinced I've never heard them before.
I think we've said Kyle Walker-Peters quite a bit.
Kyle Walker-Peters, yes, but you said Adam Armstrong, and I was like, who is Adam Armstrong?
Isn't Adam Armstrong like their captain too? Yeah, no, Adam Armstrong is the guy that took Cam Archer's role and stuff like that. Like I was expecting much more out of Cam Archer, but Adam Armstrong's been playing. Yeah, Tyler Dibbling scores that one. It's the second goal for the 18-year-old. Playing for a team like Southampton, it's not too shabby.
Shabby.
Yeah, that lead only lasted 16 minutes though, and it's from a Will Hughes corner. Trevor Chalobah heads it in. Now, a little controversy here. JP Mateta was kind of mixing it up with Aaron Ramsdale. It looks like to me, Aaron Ramsdale was the aggressor, but they looked at VAR for a while on this one. But they eventually gave it a good goal. I thought it was a good goal for all that's worth.
Yeah.
I said, count it. Yeah, I'll have some issues with VAR a little later. Looks like, oh boy. But Ramsdale was good. He makes 8 saves in this match. He just couldn't get to Eberezi, who finally scores again. He says a missile from just inside the D at the top of the box. 52 minutes in. It's the match winner. It's only his second goal. Eberezi.
That's crazy.
15 appearances because he had some injury, but he's only missed like 4 games, just 2. He had that one that was taken away that would have been the goal of the year. But yeah, expect more, and he's an English national player too. You just expect more out of this game.
Yeah,
and that's a big problem with Palace. It's like not even the guys who were supposed to score are scoring, but they got enough in this one. 2-1 win for Palace. Moving on.
They've been better lately.
They've been much better lately. They're getting a couple breaks. And who do they got next week? Just in time for them to be playing much better and for a certain team to be playing like garbage. We'll talk about that in when we do our predictions. Okay, go to the Cottage. Now, there's things all square at the Cottage. Diego Ouattara scores in the 89th minute. Raul Jimenez opened the scoring for Fulham in the 40th minute. It's a nice header from an Andres Pereira corner. Evan Nilsson scores a beauty. Considering how much money Bournemouth paid for this guy, you'd expect a a lot from him, but he contributes sporadically. I think that's a
Yeah.
nice way to do. But that was a nice goal. It's a bounce or a long pass in by James Hill. One bounce, and he takes out the bounce just to knock it over. Bernd Leno for the goal. Harry Wilson scores again. He gets in the 72nd minute. He ends in Antonio Robinson's header, and Antonio Robinson has been very good for Fulham this year. And then Fulham's defense on that winner just failed them. They had three defenders collapse at Nelson Semedo, leaving Ouattara wide open. They had one guy, and then one guy kind of got in the way. I wouldn't say it was he didn't block anybody per se. It wasn't a pick play per se, but he may have been strategically in the way to open up even more space for Ouattara to level it off. 89th minute, point, taken by Bournemouth here. They're neck and neck when it comes to the standings too. Bournemouth 7th and Fulham in 8th spot. More than halfway through the season now, Adelia. This is bananas.
They're both having decent seasons.
They're both having really good seasons, and there's just some teams that are having really bad seasons, and that's also going to help their positioning. Now, speaking about teams with bad positioning, we're going to go to the North London Communicable Disease Center. Wolverhampton coming. This is where you can pick up communicable diseases, no problem, by touching anything.
The vaunted Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Anyways, Wolves are coming in now. They've won 2 straight. Victor Pereira. They're looking. They're looking good.
They're looking much better.
Yeah, they're looking like the squad that Gary O'Neill should have had them playing like.
Yeah.
You would imagine they haven't really changed much. Couldn't because they can start doing it now, but they couldn't do.
Yeah.
Anyways, Spurs has lost 4 of their last 5, which is always fun.
Always fun.
Hwang Hee-chan is back to scoring goals. He opens the scoring for the visitors. Free kick comes to him from, again, the D. They're scoring long goals from outside the box this week. He hammers it in. Brennan Johnson now. He falls on the play, and of course he's, whining and stuff like that. He just fell. Like if somebody touched him, he grazed him. But he whines so much, he's like Anthony Gordon. You know what I mean? He's going to whine so much that eventually you're going to get a call. And he gets one. He gets taken down in the box. I believe this is in the 41st minute. I think it was probably a legit tackle. It wasn't, the hardest one, but Andre definitely was there when he goes down. They award the penalty, but somehow Min misses. Well, doesn't miss. He gets it saved by Jose Sa. And he has yeah, go ahead.
He's not having a very good season, son.
He's having a terrible season, and I think said it was his first penalty of the year, and you can tell when he starts, you can see him with a deep breath, looking down at the ball. And when he starts, he has a hesitation. He's like he starts, stops, full beat, then starts again. And by this time, there's absolutely no power on that shot. He tries to put it high and says, I'll take it. But doesn't matter because just a couple minutes later, Dejan Kulusevski finds Johnson trailing in the box. He scores. So before the half ends, it's a tie game. Second half starts. Jorgen Strand Larsen has to come in for Matthias Cunha.
Okay.
Cunha had a knee injury, but we're going to talk more about him in a sec. He reportedly picks up this injury just as the second half, or as the first half was ending. And now he's the guy who has to bring joy to Wolverhampton here. And I think I even missed I missed Spurs tying it up with a Bentancur's header off a corner. So there you go. So it was 2-1. It's It's Jorgen Strand Larsen who gets the tying goal. He gets a pass from Ryan Nouri, who had an assist on the first goal to Hee-chan as well. He puts it into the box for him. He beats Fraser Forster in tight to the short side and high. I have no idea how these people do it. But
I have no idea how that would happen either.
The most informed Norwegian striker in the Premier League over the last couple of weeks gets another one, even though he's coming in off the bench to do it. So this single point is actually going to move Spurs ahead into 11th, just on goal differential for now. Wolves are in 17th. They're holding on. We're going to talk about how much soon. It's going to make me grossed out to do it. Okay. Speaking of gross, how about the effort that West Ham puts up against Liverpool at home?
I'm guessing not much of one.
They offer. Allison comes back. I think was he back last week? He may have been back last week. They offer no shots on net at home.
Oh, that's always a great way to win a game.
Yeah, they hit one off the post that was close, but that it doesn't count because it's not good enough to score. Liverpool was good enough to score. They get goals from 5 different players. They got Luis Diaz, of course, Cody Gakpo. If you would guess that Mo Salah would score against West Ham United, you are right. Trent Alexander-Arnold has been in the news as well lately, and Diogo Jota also scores. Diogo Jota, that's a name you haven't heard in a few weeks.
Yeah, he's been on the bench, hasn't he?
Yeah, got to get on somehow. But yeah, he had the, with all this time playing or whatever with these games, they find a spot for him. He scores. Anyone could score in this game, it seems. Liverpool comfortable now, top of the table, and I keep saying they're gonna slip up, guys. No problem. Like they're running out of room to slip up. Like even if there were slip ups now, I don't know if it's going to be enough because they're just out by too much. Trent Alexander-Arnold, now heavily rumored to go to Madrid. Liverpool said that they turned down an offer from Madrid. It really doesn't matter because it's in since it's January, since it's the transfer window started. He can sign. Contract, right? He can just sign for Real Madrid.
Yeah.
He can sign as a free. He can sign as a free transfer because it's the end of his contract. They haven't after him another contract.
He'd have to go in the summer, but yeah.
Yeah. You can't leave right now. You have to wait. But yeah, you can have your. How does that play at Anfield though? Having to trot out there every week, knowing you chose Madrid. Madrid when they're leading the table by this much.
If Trent Alexander-Arnold does do that, and Mo Salah also signs with someone else in this transfer window, and it's not Liverpool, I can't imagine Anfield being happy with the two of them.
They'd be fine. I think they'd be fine with Mo Salah. Mo Salah has done enough, and he was the one who wanted a contract. Like he isn't stalling anything. He wants a contract. He even talked about it this week. It just wasn't work. It's just still not progressing, and he wants it to progress. He wants to play for Liverpool, but he'll go play for Paris probably. He'll go play for Paris. He'll play for whoever wants to, take that dump truck full of money to his house, dump it.
Yeah.
He'll have some fun over in Paris, I'm sure.
I think you're probably right that they'd be more okay with Mo Salah leaving, but I don't know, man. Anfield would make the rest of the season really interesting.
Trent Alexander-Arnold already plays out of position.
Yeah.
Like he's who steps in there? Well, like it's Liverpool. It's not like they don't have cash, but there's only so many of these in the world. Chelsea has one that can never get on the pitch, which drives me nuts. We'll talk about it in one goddamn second. I'm gotta watch the swears. I'm gonna watch the swears that I'm about to talk about. All right, one other thing. Jared Bowen fractured his foot.
Oh no, that's not good for West Ham.
That's not good. Oh, it's your best player by a mile and captain.
Yeah.
So he tried to play it through or whatever and he got pulled. I think he said it was a bone in his foot. I have broken many bones in my feet because I'm so lucky. I would not want to play, football for 90 minutes plus. So there you go. He's going to be off the squad for at least a little while. We'll see how long. Maybe he can make it in 2 minutes. All right. Or 2 minutes, 2 months. Next. Talk about Ipswich beating Chelsea. For goodness sakes. At home.
I did not know this had happened until I checked Discord later that day, and I just saw you and Ferris's posts in our Soccer Talk channel, and my first question was, "What the f happened?"
Yeah, well, it's a Christmas curse. Like Chelsea's always been not great in December. The fact that we were getting results early in December thought made me think to myself, "Well, look at this. They've even turned this around. Happy days." Then there's a scoreless
And
draw at
then,
Everton.
yeah,
And there's losing late at home for the first time in 45 years to Fulham. And then there's this losing to Ipswich for Ipswich's first home win in the top flight in 22 years. Their last home
yeah.
win in the top flight, Adelia,
Hmm.
against Chelsea. So uh, I wasn't happy. There was things that
I
made me incredibly mad, like
yeah,
Flip Jorgensen being called for that penalty on Liam Delap. The ball's passing. Jorgensen's on the ground with his feet up. Delap fucking holds his foot down, takes a touch on the ankle maybe, and then falls. And they point directly to the spot, and it's Michael Oliver in VAR who
of
upholds
course.
it. Who upholds it? What are you doing? What is happening to this sport? That was a penalty. It was egregious, but whatever. Liam Delap goes up and scores. Uh, Cole Palmer hits 2 posts. He hits one off a free kick. João Felix scores. They go to VAR. They have 2 angles. One that, and they count the goal. Mind you, the goal is counted on the pitch. They have one angle from the right-hand side, which shows him onside. They have one angle from the left-hand side that shows him offside. Each angle isn't tight. They're each like this, like in a concave a little bit.
Hmm.
They decide that they pick the one that looks like he's offside instead of the one that looks onside, even though it's called on the pitch. So he said beyond a shadow of a doubt there was a mistake when one side clearly showed he was on, which is
Hmm.
ridiculous. I see that young Ferris Mathena has weighed in with an egregious comment. One team follow and the switch, unbelievable, and untrue forever. Now, yeah, that goal getting called off was and another thing where I shaking my head, didn't know. So we figure, well, we'll just pump in 3-4 more goals after this. Doesn't matter. They look to be on the front foot, Chelsea. Second half comes and the team looks different. They look slow. They got Axel Disasi playing right back, even though I think Gusto was good enough to play. And if not Gusto, why the hell wouldn't you just put like Neto back there? Put a right winger back there. You want to play him forward anyways. Who cares? Rather than have Axel Disasi play that position, and he just at one point just turns around, starts to play the ball back nice and calmly. Who's that? Oh, Liam Delap wears blue. He probably plays for Chelsea. He doesn't. He doesn't. But he passes to a guy who used to play for Chelsea, and I believe he used to play for Arsenal and in the academies anyways, Amari Hutchinson.
Hmm.
He scores. He's a little happy about this. Does the Ozzie Smith flip to celebrate his goal, which was pretty outstanding. You're not supposed to celebrate goals against your old club, but if you celebrate like that, you're fine with me. Good for you. Plus, I think Chelsea has cut this poor kid like twice. And I
Yeah.
think that, Arsenal cut him and stuff
Fair
like that.
saying Hale End, which is the Arsenal Academy.
Yeah. 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 If he wants to celebrate against Chelsea, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah,
Two
I'm fine
goals.
with it.
There's where'd the goals go? Like all they kept talking about is like the top 3 in scoring is Liverpool, and then Tottenham and Chelsea's right there, and it's just dried up. They have dried up
Yeah.
against what's the competition? Everton, Fulham, and now Ipswich Town. That's who
Yeah.
you dried up against. So it's coming up like they got. I think it's a City in 2 weeks. I think we have a weird week where we miss a week and then there's the 2 match weeks in a
Well,
row or same week.
yeah, there's this weekend is a match week, and
Yep.
then next weekend is the FA Cup,
Right.
and then it's back to
Yeah,
Premier
they got
League.
the 2. Yeah, they got the 2 in a row. I think they got 2 same matches
Yeah,
starting
I
after
think
that.
so.
So yeah, ugh, gosh. Well, you know, Chelsea had to take their lumps somehow. It's like they had a pretty good 2024 compared to the last 2 seasons,
They
but
did. They
to
really did.
end to end the year, the calendar year like that, a lot of people have to take deep, hard looks, and also know it's January. So they've already called up Anselmino from Boca Juniors. We'll see. This 18-year-old kid is supposedly a huge rising star. We'll see. He plays on the back line, so they could probably get him in here pretty quick. But they're going to need to get, like, not just hopefully not just kids. We need to get somebody with, a veteran presence back there to kind of hold it together in that back line, especially with all these people. Tosin isn't the guy. Let me tell you that. Okay, I could go on, but I'm going to just end up swearing more about Chelsea. Maresca needs to make sharper decisions. Like, you have a lot of guys there. Make better decisions. Come on.
Yeah.
Goodness sakes.
Yeah.
And Christopher and Cuckoo look terrible, too. Anyways, moving on. All right, I'm going to keep going through the list, but I don't want. All right, Villa, Brighton, in Birmingham. And it's Simon Adingra getting the scoring going. Long ball into the box. Defenders clear out Joao Pedro, which is probably smart. There's two of them. They take him out of the
Probably,
play.
yeah.
But they leave the ball close line there for Adingra and just takes it into the middle of the box, puts it away. That's 12 minutes in. And we got a close call here for Brighton. The 29th minute. Morgan Rogers is in the box. He's challenged by Jean-Paul Van Hecke. Rogers goes down. VAR wants a little bit of time with this one, but rule it no foul. This one is worse than the Chelsea one that was allowed.
Okay.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, this is the VAR. It has no standard at all.
No standards of VAR. Absolutely not.
People just shrug their shoulders. What do we want to see happen? This is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. But 2 minutes later from Villa corner, there's another loose ball. Morgan Rogers reaches for it. Joao Pedro, I think his shoelace may have grazed against Morgan Rogers' cleat.
Okay.
Rogers goes down because he felt maybe the gust of wind, and he's crawling around there. This time, penalties where Craig Pawson finally awards or gets a VAR finally gets Craig Pawson to go look at it. To point to the spot. It's like he's just gonna keep falling, I guess, until you give him one. So they decide, we'll just give him one. Yeah, ridiculous. Ollie Watkins is the guy that comes in and ties it. That's another guy who's just, where's he been all year? Morgan Rogers does end up putting Villa ahead a couple minutes after the second half restarts. Nice low hard shot, which you're seeing a lot more often, especially as of late. People say it's the hardest thing a keeper can to get. I disagree. I think a hard shot very high away from him is much, much tougher. But what are you going to do?
Yeah.
And they couldn't hold the lead, though. Villa, it's Tarek Lamptey scoring in the 81st. Joao Pedro assist, so we get some measure of revenge on that. Villa 9th, Brighton in 10th. Another couple of teams jockeying for his position, sharing the spoils.
Mm-hmm.
If you call 1 point a spoil, I suppose. Better nothing.
I suppose.
All right.
Yeah.
Speaking of nothing, I think that almost worked. Manchester United was in action against Newcastle. And
I can't wait to hear about this because I have no idea what happened in this game.
Well, first off, Bruno Fernandes, of course, suspended.
Yes, because he's an idiot.
Yeah, because he's so dumb. What was the point in sacking Aaron Ten Hag? Honestly,
I don't know.
Instead of just paying one shit manager, you pay two. And if the Glazers, if they want to spend their money on this, fine. But none of these people know what they're doing. And it's delightful, isn't it? It is a real treat.
I'm guessing Newcastle won this game.
Well, we'll find out. Isaac scores 3.5 minutes into the game. So, yeah, and that's as many goals as they needed because, again, at Old Trafford, United doesn't manage a shot on net.
You just can't win a game if you don't manage a shot on net. It's
all
impossible.
that money. Like people talk about Chelsea. Sure, but Chelsea actually scoring. You know what I mean? These guys are nothing.
I keep going back to that post I saw on Blue Sky, which said that Sir Jim is just a next level Mike Ashley.
He's terrible.
It's awful. He's making horrible decisions for that team.
How dare you, Adelia? He's wonderful. I want him to keep making these decisions forever.
I don't want this to end. Let's make that very clear. This can continue forever until they're in the 3rd division and we never hear from Manchester United again.
Yes.
But he's making terrible decisions.
It's awful. It's awful. I can't wait.
Ferris says every time something bad happens, Jim fires more people.
Sure. Good.
He's not hiring anybody good to replace them, which is fine.
He's bringing in the, guys who's like met on the train or something like that. Ridiculous. Joe Linton also scored. He scored 15 minutes after Isak. That was all the scoring they needed. Yeah. Manchester United are 14th and they have a -5 goal differential. Manchester United.
I'm sorry, I love it. It brings me so much joy.
Yeah, he's saying that this is repentance for the cheating under Alex. I don't know how much it was United cheating. I'm just the entire league was in on it for United and stuff like that.
They can give United all the Fergie time they want now. They're not scoring.
Nope. No, ridiculous. Okay. You want to talk about the only game? Hey, Brandon. You want to talk about the only game you probably had paid much attention to this entire
I saw the last half hour of this game, but I was also half asleep, so I don't really remember too much about it.
Oh, okay, good. Arsenal lost. I'm just kidding.
No, they didn't.
So, what
I know that much.
What I will say is those warm-up jackets they came out. I don't know whether they're called Letterman jackets or something like that. They came out from their warm-up. Those are pretty sharp.
They're very nice.
I was like, "Whoa!" If there was any other letter on there, it probably would have been a lot better. Maybe I just thought it was also
they're great. They're great.
It's a weird shade of maroon or something like that. Didn't seem like, why wouldn't they just have the red? Anyways, didn't make any sense to me. But here we go. They're playing Brentford. Brentford takes the lead well against the run of play. Brian Mbumo taking the ball into the box. He gets Calafiori to turn the wrong way and then goes short side. David Raya, 1-0 lead. What's that, 13 minutes in? And they almost double it. The 28th minute, King Lewis Potter has a shot that goes through Raya's fingers. It gets to the net. He scrambles back and swats this thing on the goal line. They have to wait to show everybody at home the replay about how close this thing was to going over, because
it was close.
Yeah, from the play, from the ball coming back in, the ball goes up into the Brentford box and is Gabby Jesus heading a little diving header to put Arsenal on level terms. 3 goals in the last 3 matches for Gabby Jesus.
6 goals in his past 4 Arsenal appearances, which is as many goals as he scored in the previous 48 games he played for Arsenal.
That's Snark's, what was it, 22-23 Golden Boot pick at the beginning of the season, guys. That's how good I am at prognosticating. Anyways.
I want to talk about that stat in a minute when you're done recounting the game.
Sure. That was 29 minutes in. Brentford, second half, shoot themselves in the foot. What's the one thing you don't do against Arsenal? So, Arsenal has a corner. Martin Odegaard kicks it long. Joan Wissa, instead of playing the ball out, he has plenty of time. He has space. He can, kick it down field or whatever and make Arsenal come back again. You could kick it to the sidelines. Make them throw the ball in. No, he decides to put it out back behind goal for a corner. I've heard that Arsenal are good at corners.
You do not give Arsenal more corners than
I
you
have a
absolutely have to.
big writing here. You don't give Arsenal free corners.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Ryan Waneri with the corner this time. No Saka, of course. He's going to be off for a little while.
Yes, was Waneri's first Premier League start.
Yep. Goal mouth scramble here, and it's Mikel Merino, your big summer signing, I guess. Scoring this one to give the Gunners the lead. And 3 minutes later, it's Martinelli adding another one. And Brentford just fell apart. As soon as they turned to put that ball out, they just went flat and said, well, we just decided to lose. Good job.
Yeah.
Good job. Anyway, yeah, it's an absolute cruise for Arsenal. 6 points behind Liverpool. In second place now, again, Arsenal, but Liverpool has that game in hand, of course.
Yeah. Ferris saying Gabriel Jesus has never lost a game in the EPL when he scores. This is true.
He's had a couple pretty good teams he's been on.
He has.
Plus, he doesn't score all that often. Six and was it 48 before the season? Crazy. Anyways,
I'm worried.
Yeah.
Really worried that Gabriel Jesus scoring 6 goals in his last 4 games for Arsenal means that they're not going to bring in somebody in January, which we desperately need, because as his previous 48 games to this 4-game stretch show, he's not very consistent.
No, yeah, you guys absolutely need somebody. I don't think that. Yeah, if nothing's done, people have to lose jobs because you guys have just decided not to be serious about things. Yeah. They absolutely did. As soon as they said, like, "What do you like? You could have done that." He could have done anything with it. He probably could have ran the ball out.
Ferris, are you suggesting we abduct Alex Isak?
I think that's right. Yes, that's exactly what he's doing.
I don't think we'd abduct him.
You don't get. That's not even paying him. You're forcing him to play for your team against his will.
Yeah, I don't think that's a thing that we can do.
And no one's ever tried it. No one's ever tried it.
I mean, I don't think that's a thing we can do. I also don't think we can get Alex Isak in this window because we'd have to sell
a lot of money.
It's going to cost a lot of money to get him out of Newcastle. It costs a lot of money in the summer, but it might actually be cheaper in the summer because we can offset that with more sales of other players than we can do in January.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know who you get rid of to afford them. Newcastle are going to want an outrageous amount just because how much money they're in debt for somehow the richest owners in sport somehow have this club in debt with they have two bright spots. They have some good players. They also have that Jekyll and Hyde, but Mr. Hyde has been missing from the squad for the last while. They've been good. They're back to playing good football.
Yeah. Ferris, I agree. We need to do something, and I think they will do something. I just don't know what it will be.
A central defender. We'll probably get one of those.
I mean, I don't think we need another one of those.
No, I think you're good.
I'm wondering if they're going to try to loan somebody in for the rest of the season, but that is always like an issue where you could end up with a Martin Odegaard like we did. He initially came in from Madrid on a loan in January, or you could end up with like a Dennis Suarez who came in from Spain and did absolutely nothing. So
how's Raheem Sterling doing?
Raheem Sterling, I don't know what is going on with Raheem Sterling. He is there to make up numbers. That's all he's been all season, and that's all he was ever brought in to really do.
He's a good teammate. He's a good locker room guy. So he just an incredibly expensive locker room guy.
He's an incredibly expensive locker room guy. Ferris is saying Raheem is injured. I did hear he has a knee injury or something, but like still, even when he's not injured, he's not playing.
It's from lack of use.
There were rumors that we were going to bring Fabio Vieira back from his loan in Porto. Then they said we're not doing that. He was sent out on loan so that there'd be room for one area in the squad, and I think that's been a good move. Ferris saying Newcastle aren't in debt. They are just not allowed to use their money and financial dope.
Yeah. Yeah, it's called, the same thing as everybody else. You get financial fair play.
Yeah. Raheem and Saka got hurt in the same week. Saka's not coming back for a while.
Yep.
So they have to do something. I'm just worried that they're going to see this form Gabriel Jesus is in and not make the moves that need to be made. Chelsea is not paying his entire contract, Ferris. He's
Yeah, you guys are
we're
on the
still
hook
paying
for
him a lot.
a hundred grand a week, which is whatever compared to the
Yeah.
350,000 and whatever. So
I mean,
Chelsea's still
we're
paying
probably
250,000,
paying
$1
him the
million
equivalent
a month.
of what Raheem's Reese Nelson would have been making, because I think he was on something similar to that. So
Yeah, the one good thing, well, if you guys need a winger, there's plenty of those available. You'll be able to find those fine. The problem is your big need, and your big need for the last few years is an out and out striker. There's very few of them. They're always expensive.
yeah,
And you guys have to decide when you're going to be serious, and it's not getting a mid tier guy. You guys have to go
we
high.
have to get a top tier. We have to get a top tier striker. I think what they're probably going to do is go after a winger because they're more easily available in January, and then go for the striker in the summer when they can balance the financial fair play rules a little bit better, because you'll sell more players in the summer than you will in January. Ferris keeps saying that Nkuku is available, and he's very much spelling Christopher Nkuku's name wrong.
It's tough to spell.
Yeah,
It's 3 letters twice.
Yeah, I don't think that we will be signing Christopher Nkuku. Ferris.
No, Maresca keeps saying that he really likes Nkuku. I don't know how much he wants to leave. He wants to play more. He had his opportunity in Ipswich, and he friggin' blew it. Yes. You guys want Nkuku? Okay, fine. He's undersized for you guys. You guys don't need Nkuku.
We don't
need somebody
Nkuku.
much bigger.
Yeah.
You guys need an imposing guy to run that line for you.
I think it was possible that maybe they would have gone after Gyökeres in Portugal before Saka's injury, but now because of Saka's injury, I think they have to pivot. We need a winger that can back up Saka, because we have no one to back up Saka.
No.
I mean, it's just...
I just saw the spelling of that
one. Ferris, that is also very misspelled.
Yeah, it's close, buddy. Pretty close.
It's the right letters. It's just not the right order.
Yeah. Okay. Well, next week, big matches again.
Yeah. Back to normal next week.
Back to normal. Yeah. I'm worried about my squad because they have a team they should easily beat, but we'll see. Because I'm losing a little faith in them right now because of how terrible they've been the last couple weeks. But move on. It's time to start doing some predicting. Now, you guys did pretty good with this whole predicting. You guys both get to. I got 5, and I was feeling pretty good about myself. And then I saw you guys each had 6, and I said, well, what am I supposed to do? Ridiculous.
It never fails. Ferris, who does not watch as many of these games as you and I do every week, always ends up with more than me and you usually, and I don't understand how that happens.
He's a witch. He's a prognostication witch. All right, so we're going to start. Oh, we get to start at that vaunted and hallowed Tottenham Hotspur Stadium for the early match. Boy, oh boy, am I looking forward to getting up early to watch Tottenham and Newcastle. You think it's going to be a draw?
I do. Newcastle is too up and down. I mean, they just got a win, so I feel like they're gonna come down a little. And Tottenham, I don't trust to win anything.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you're smarter at this than me, but I'm going to go with Newcastle because it's always fun to see Spurs lose at home. 3-point lane used to be called. Adelia, 3-point lane.
I have never called it that.
No.
Ferris is saying Newcastle is hot right now.
They're so hot right now. Newcastle.
Bournemouth and very inconsistent.
Yes, they are for sure. Bournemouth and Everton. You've picked Bournemouth. Yeah, I'm going to pick Bournemouth as well.
Bournemouth have been very good this season.
That would be the match to get the draw, maybe just how Everton plays. But if they can hold them, if it's a low scoring game, it's going to be a draw. But
if it's a low scoring game, it might be a draw. But Bournemouth, I trust to score way more than Everton.
Oh, for sure. Aston Villa and Leicester. You have chosen the hosts in Villa. I think it's a pretty easy call there. I'm going to check Villa as well.
How long does Ruud van Nistelrooy last in this job?
The rest of the year.
I don't know
Either
about
way, like, they're not doing 2 managers in a year. They're not Chelsea. They're not ridiculous. He's not going to keep them up.
If it's getting close to the end of the year and they're close enough to the top to get to the safety
Ooh.
zone, they might.
Who takes that job though? Like, who's available? Like, do they get Graham Potter to do it? That'd be funny. That's
Gary
the only
O'Neill's
guy.
still out there, isn't he?
Yeah, does he take that job? I think he takes Wolverhampton's money for the rest of the year. Says,
I
well,
don't
like,
know.
why would he want to take that job just in case he
Yeah,
goes down? I
I'm
think he'd
just
wait.
saying if they're close to being out of the relegation zone and they don't think Van Nistelrooy is getting them out of it, I could see them trying to make a move.
Yeah, you might be right. I just don't know why they thought Van Nistelrooy would be the guy. It's like, oh, he just got let go of his own
I
club.
don't know
But
why
yeah,
they thought he'd be the guy either, except for the fact that he is the
look good
only
in the first week.
manager this year that has made Manchester United actually win.
That's true.
So,
Yeah, there you go. Get the expensive enough players you can make Van Nistelrooy look good for a week. All right.
yep.
Crystal Palace and Chelsea. Of course, I'm going to choose Chelsea, but someone's got to decide to score again.
Yeah,
Ridiculous.
I'm
And all
I'm
they
good.
need is one is Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
They don't like
Yeah.
to score.
No, I'm going Chelsea. I think
Yeah.
they'll rebound. I think that
Yeah,
Maresca
no.
probably has done a lot of yelling at them this week, as he should have, and I think they'll rebound.
I was hoping that he did a 7 a.m. practice on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. That would have been fun.
Yeah.
You guys don't want to work. You guys can work. City and West Ham. Nowadays, it's a tough choice, but I think
Made a little
City.
easier by the Jared Bowen injury.
Yeah, I think that
Which,
sways you. That sways you in this one. City should
yeah,
win at home against
yeah.
West Ham United. I think you've chosen the same thing. Yep. There we go.
Mhm.
City. The Saints at home at St. Mary's Stadium. They get Brentford, and it's not going to be good for them.
You can't choose anybody but Brentford here. The Saints are awful. They're terrible. They're worse. They are officially now the worst team I've seen since Derby County,
Ooh,
and I can't see them getting more than maybe one more win all season. Like
it's
it's
going to be
that
tough
bad.
for them to do that. It's going to be
Yeah.
tough for them to do that. How about? Do you see Arsenal winning again this year? They're playing Brighton this weekend.
Yeah,
They get to go to the South Coast.
I think Arsenal might win again this year, and I think it might be this weekend to start.
Yeah,
So
right.
yes, I'm picking Arsenal over Brighton.
Yeah, I'm going to pick them too. Brighton, how have they become so topsy turvy? For goodness sakes,
I don't know. They seemed much more consistent last year under De Zerbi than they have under this new guy whose name I don't even remember. It's Fabian something. I don't remember.
Yeah. Doesn't matter.
They're just not good.
No, they haven't been. They haven't been sharp. Fulham
No.
get to stay at home at the Cottage. They get Ipswich down. Does Ipswich make it a Fulham sweep this year?
I don't think so.
No. I think Fulham's going to win. Just if I don't have enough gray hairs, Fulham is going to beat the team that beat Chelsea this past weekend. All right, I'm choosing Fulham as well. Now, which used to be the marquee matchup forever.
Yeah.
Is now a matchup. Liverpool at Anfield against Manchester United.
It's almost like the question is how many goals are Liverpool going to put past them? Like,
that's right.
We had that 7-0 a few years ago. Like, could they replicate that? Like, Liverpool's going to win this game. It doesn't matter by how many because Manchester United cannot score.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, Liverpool's going to win. I think Fernandes is still suspended for that one, right? I think he had a 2-game suspension because he was already on one. Yeah, Liverpool's going to win. I'm just wondering if they start the "We Want 8" chant and then "We Want 9." How many can they score? How many can they get? That'll be the question.
I hope it's not that many, just for pure goal difference reasons.
Yeah, I guess.
But I can't see them losing to Manchester United in the form that Manchester United's in.
I'd just like to see United shattered. Does that make me a terrible person here in 2025?
No, because I also want to see that.
Okay, good. I think that's good. Righteous people want to see that happen. There you go. Last bet. Wolves at home to Forest. I think maybe Vitor's luck may run out.
I
this
think
coming
that
weekend.
he will have Wolves playing well, and I think this will be a really good game, but I think Forest wins.
Yeah, I think Forest should win this match. I have chosen that one as well. Oh, look, I have saved all my matches this week. Very smart to do this on the fly instead of just me talking about it and then totally forget to do the app until it's too late, which has happened.
See, I do them in the app before the show and then just read them off the app when
Smart.
it's time to do the predictions in the
Yeah.
show.
I always think, oh, I'll just do it. I'll just talk about it and then I'll put it into the thing. No problem. Then I missed that one Chelsea match when they played early. It's like trying to go, oh my God, and wouldn't let me do it. It's like, oh, I better do these other ones quick. I better figure out a way to keep doing this every week where I don't forget. Now I have the only thing that helps me sleep at night after the last 3 Chelsea matches. So there you are. We're all finished.
We're done. Thank you, everyone, for joining us.
Mhm.
Ferris, thank you for all the comments. Brennan, thanks
Sure.
for chiming in as well. We will be back on Tuesday at 5 p.m. Pacific, our normal time,
Yes.
next week. And then we won't have a show the following week because of the FA Cup. So we'll be back Tuesday, 5 p.m. Pacific on this channel, which is now LGRN Sports, to make it a little more obvious what it is.
I like it.
We got the new logo out there on the channel now. So yeah, it's been a long time coming.
Yeah, looks good.
It looks good, and that's all that matters.
Mhm.
Happy New Year, everyone. It's
Sure.
2025 now, and we've been doing this show for almost 100 episodes. Our 100th episode is coming up soon. This is episode 96. So
Yeesh, that's pretty good.
yeah, we've been doing this for a while.
Maybe
Snark,
you guys will even
thank
get
you
a
for
striker in that time.
maybe.
We'll see.
We've
We'll
done
see.
fairly well with that one, but maybe
That's true.
we can get
That's
one
true.
to finally put us over the hump on something.
Mhm.
Snark, where can people find you?
Well, you and I also do a show called Rewatchers Council. That is coming back next Thursday. We'll be talking about Gingerbread, which is another amazing 3rd season episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Can't wait to talk about that one. LGRN after Snark. Danny and I, last episode we did 2024. Seems like so long ago. Adelia. We talked about, we were going to talk, yes, we were going to talk about our the TV shows and movies we're looking forward to. We got to the movies. This week we'll talk about the television shows. We'll also talk about Skeleton Crew next time, but it won't be for a couple weeks because I got to go win some dart tournaments. You know, got to go cruise to victory. Some dirt things, so we'll see how that happens. I highly doubt I'll win the one tournament, but anyways, what else we got? Playoff Beards here on LGRN Sports. That'll be coming back fairly soon. We're going to talk about trade deadlines and the Four Nations Cup for whatever reason they're having that this year. That's screwing everything up, and the number one plays the Winnipeg Jets as well. So what else we got? I think that's it. I think that's all I got on the show for right now.
I think that's all you got. You can find me, as Snark said, on Rewatchers Council and on this show. You can also find me on the Skeleton Crew post credits over on the Entertainment Channel. We'll be dropping another episode of that tonight, so check that out. We're watching episode 6 tonight, so been a little delayed the last 2 weeks because of the Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, but now we're gonna be back on track for the last 2 episodes. Really enjoying that show.
It's great.
It's very good. But thank you, everyone, for joining us, and we will see you next week. Until then, we are out of here. Bye.